Oh, do it for me, Penelope. Do it for me. I love him. I love him. Penelope looked at Lady Shana and decided to take out her blade anyway, which she was wont to use. You're a silly bitch, said Lady Penelope. She arranged for Buck Henry to show up, and Buck Henry had a little bit of power and authority. He was a young princeling, but they managed to grab a galleon and a ship, and they travelled across the Sunlight Sea with a crew of about 20 odd and landed on the coast of Tamarin. They were cautious because this could be deemed as an invasion of the northern lands, and they were cautious, but uh, Elishana found the village, and Buck Henry smoked his tobacco. Penelope just went hissing him all the time because they were betrothed now. And Elishana was with a man who she'd met on the Isle of the Pool of Radiance, and exchanged address details and exchanged love rings. And there had been an amorous encounter in that pool by the side, and rude things had occurred. Certain touchings had occurred, and certain hearts had been touched. And Elishana, she pledged her most beloved devotion to her Tamarin champion from Parangash, and oh, oh, oh. All the way back as Elishana sat in her room, quietly, just sobbing at being parted from her lover, Penelope just shaking her head of a silly fool, Buck Henry would remark that women were obsessive sorts of creatures, obsessive about romance and always expecting the man to be such a champion, and the hearts were such fluttery little butterflies that they were seriously a joke. Penelope would glare at him, but she mulled that over. Life in the Sunlight Sea world was full of all sorts of characters, and perhaps women at times were a bit more demure, although Penelope had a bit of fight about her. It's just the way she was, probably from her upbringing from a very feisty and foul-tempered mother at times. But that was the way of the world in the Age of Darkness. It was full of harsh men with very ribald talk and disgusting ways and savage behaviours, wicked and witless men who would cut your throat at a moment's notice if a fee was right. And surviving that had not been easy for the world of Olo Malan. But it seemed that these doomsayers had arrived and brought a new age, and things were changing. There was change in the air, change in the world, and the old ways were being replaced by things like football, and this sort of new air travel from, what was it, Starjascan Pitlikin or whoever it was, and these new telephony devices which she'd seen in functioning, and it was quite a remarkable device, Lady Penelope thought to herself. Yes, change was coming, and her world would have to be updated on a regular enough basis, and even updated to the likes of Buck Henry, Haast, who was quite handsome, actually, Penelope thought, despite her feminine pride, thinking it should know better.